So now that T. Higgins is franchise tagged, it's time for every single media outlet possible to talk about how we're going to trade him. Because now they can't talk about the fact that we're going to, send him to free agency. So now it's all about, well, who is going to trade for T. Higgins? First off, let me start this off by saying, if we were going to trade T. Higgins, we would have gave him the non-exclusive franchise tag, which is $19 million, which is $2.5 million less than the exclusive franchise tag. But the big difference is a team would have to give us 2 first-round picks and then work out a contract with T. Higgins, which we have the opportunity to match if we would like to. If they were going to trade T. Higgins, they fully believed that they were not going to, keep him for a long-term contract, then they would have just done that. It would have been easier for them. If anything, they could have matched whatever offer he got and just kept him, or they could have got 2 first-round picks and literally had a first-round pick, an extra first-round pick in this draft, and another one in the next draft. And they could have done anything they wanted. They could have traded up with that to get Brock Bowers. If they wanted to trade him, they would have done that. If they thought they were even on the cusp of potentially not working out a contract with him and having to trade him, they would have done that. But because they didn't do that fully, and I mean fully, I'm 100% on the bandwagon here of we're going to sign him. We're going to get him to a long-term contract. We're going to figure something out, and everything is going to work out in the positive. Now, maybe I'm being a little bit too hopeful. Maybe I'm on that hopium, you know what I'm saying? Well, here's the problem, right? This is the Bengals. And if you know anything about the Bengals, they value their players higher than anything else out there. They want more value for their players than most teams are willing to give up. Last year, when we tried to trade Jonah Williams last offseason, we wanted a first-round pick for him. First-round pick was the starting asking price. We wanted more, but we would accept a first-round pick. No team wanted to give us a first-round pick. They said he's not worth it. The Bengals said, yeah, he is. We value him as that. And they're go to their grave overvaluing whatever player they have, okay? That was Jonah Williams, who was our left tackle, starting left tackle, obviously got hurt, moved the right, was going to move the right tackle, requested he would get traded, right? So there was already bad blood there. With all those negatives, we still said first round pick or nothing. T. Higgins is valued by this franchise 100 times more than Jonah Williams was and is. If we're going to trade T. Higgins, you best believe that 2 first-round picks is at least what we're asking for. Not even a question. And probably a couple players. So, again, if we potentially here, we thought, hey, listen, we're not going to get a long-term contract work out with this guy. It's going to be a problem. There's going to be issues. We would have just given him the non-exclusive franchise tag. Because all we had to do then was just go see if any teams give us 2 first-round picks, figure out that whole equation, and then that's it. That's all we had to do. We're going to work out a long-term contract with him. This is the last time I'm going to talk about speculation of us trading him. Because I fully now, before I was like 97% chance we weren't going to trade him. But now that we use this franchise tag, the exclusive, there's just no reason. Because, in all honesty, while yes, I love T. Higgins, I don't think T. Higgins would command 2 first-round picks if we tried to trade him. Especially him coming off a bad year, right? So that's also the dilemma here is we're not going to get 2 first-round picks for him. I think the Bengals know that as well. So if they really thought, hey, listen, we're trading him, they would just put it the non-exclusive and hedge their bets and try to work out a long-term deal. But at the same time, if another team comes in and says, hey, I wanted more, we would say, okay, well, we're going to match your offer, or we'll just take 2 first-round picks and walk away with it. And with how we work and how we're all family-oriented in Cincy, we would probably, give the not first dibs. There's no dibs here. But it would probably be, what's his name? The Titans. Titans would probably get their chance at it because, obviously, Brian Callahan. So, that would probably be the first situation that would get worked out. Now, CincinnatiJungle.com went ahead and posted this on their page, and it's, what compensation would you demand in a Higgins trade? And as a fan, I want a first, I want a second, and I want a good player. A good, solid, helpful player, maybe 2. That's what I would ask for. Knowing the Bengals, it's 2 first-round picks or more. That's just how it is. And then, so the options here are third or worse, which no one's gonna select that. I don't even know why. You should just put 0 option here instead of putting a third or worse, because that doesn't make any sense. No one's gonna say a second round selection, a first round pick, first round pick selection plus more. Everyone's gonna select these 2 options. That's the only options really available for this poll right here. These are just joke crap options. There's no point. These options, okay. I would literally, 1000% this. First round pick, just a first round pick is no. That's not even a question. Because, while it always is kind of iffy when you're trading players for draft picks, because then you have to value, well, is this said draft pick going to be worth more than that said player that I had, right? That's always what the 101, equation is. Like, okay, I drafted, I don't know, I'm going to go Ravens here, Tyler Lindenbaum, center, right? Is he worth trading Marquise Brown, which they traded Marquise Brown for that exact pick? So Marquise Brown, Tyler Lindenbaum, center, this guy. Is that worth it? In the end, yes, it was. At the beginning, was it worth it? You don't know. So that's why I'm always iffy about just 1 pick. I'd rather have 2 picks and say, are these 2 players, plus maybe other compensation, worth it for that said player? So I think 1000% this is the only answer. First round selection plus more is the only selection. It's the only answer. Especially because if they trade him for a first round pick, somebody needs to be fired. Somebody needs to be fired because we could have put him on the non-exclusive franchise tag and got 2 first round picks. We could have got 2 first round picks, bare minimum. The only way you're going to trade him if you put him on an exclusive franchise tag is if you know you're getting more than 2 first round picks for him. Which personally, again, like I said, I don't believe we would as well. I don't think we would. Not for how much, again, him coming off a bad season, him coming off some injuries. And then whoever we trade him for is going to have to give him the bag and pay him great money. Also, we're going to have to work with a team that he wants to go to. So, there's all these parameters that are set up where it's like, not only do we have to trade him to a team that he wants to play for, right? Because we're not going to trade him to a team he doesn't want to play for. That's just not how we work. I know some organizations, they don't care, okay? That's not how we work here. We take care of our players. We take care of our coaches. That's how Who Dey Nation works. Number 2, right? Now we're going to have to trade him to someone who has the money to pay him the contract he wants. So that means the contract has to be worked out before the trade goes through. That's number 2. Number 3, now we're going to have to ask for all, 2 first round picks plus more. That's not going to happen. I'm sorry, but that's not going to happen. When you put those 2 stipulations, 1A, 1B, 1C ain't happening. No team's going to sit there and say, oh yeah, now we'll give you guys all these draft picks now we're in financial hell, plus the fact that, there's a limited amount of options. It's not like any team that comes to us says, hey, listen, I'd love to get the guy. And then was like, all right, there you go. So if they're going to trade him, they would have traded him. And again, if they would have traded him, they would have put the non-exclusive franchise tag on him. They would not have put the exclusive. There's just no reason to. DraftKings, Joe Mixon, to win Offensive Player of the Year, 7,500. You know what's funny? This is a scam. This right here is a scam. I like to report this as a scam. I report this as a scam because this is a scam. It's not that Joe Mixon can't win this, because he can, 100%. I think he can. There's no way the NFL would ever let Joe Mixon win Offensive Player of the Year over players like Justin Jefferson, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen. You name a player, I'll name a player that would obviously get the, favoritism over Joe Mixon. This would never happen. Nonetheless, though, let's see what the results are for this. So, there's only 5 votes so far. And 2 votes said first round pick. I don't understand who these 2 people are, but they should understand that that's not how the Bengals work. And the Bengals would never trade T. Higgins for 1 first round pick. Especially, again, because they could have got 2 first round picks, bare minimum, by just giving him the other tag. Tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. I'll see you guys next one. Peace.